Yo, it's the KIDHYPHEN, the Kid Hype.
Hey MJ fan, this is Far Christ.
Hey, this is MJ Love.
And you are listening to the Moonwalker Chat Podcast.
The only place to be if you're a real Michael Jackson fan.
And you tuned in with the Moonwalkers Chat Podcast.
And this is a place to be if you're a real Michael Jackson fan.
Hello people, let's make sure that I'm connected and make sure that you can hear me. First off, hello everyone, it is the 1st of August 2020 and it is very, very hot today. Let's just say that, but happy Saturday everybody. Can you hear me first off, just before I start? Just to make sure you can hear me. What's going on? I see MD Love. I see Terry TJ, my buddy. Yvette Colbert. Dodo. Dale, what's going on? Sorry for the cancellation, then the startup. It was just like so much noise going on above that I was like, I'm not sure if I could actually start and, have you guys hear me clearly without the sound of dragging furniture or any noise. So I just wanted to make sure that you could hear me, but it looks like it stopped. So I said, forget tomorrow. We're doing this now. Oh man, but I hope all is well with everybody. This is week number 2 of Without Dove Angel. Yes, I miss having my co-host here. She's still having technical difficulties in her area where she lives, so she's not able to connect to us in the podcast. But however, hopefully we will have her back come next week. But I hope all is well with everybody that's here today, and definitely have a nice show for you guys today. So let's get started. Let's get started. All right, so let me just switch my screen and all right, now the first thing I wanted to talk about, well, first I was hoping that my co-worker, same thing, same difference because we work together, but my co-host would be back today, but she's not, and hopefully we will be back with her next week. What's going on? Walk a minute with me. Hello from Motown. That's what's up. D-Town, Detroit. It's 12 of you guys here. That's what's up. Well, what's going on, everybody? Well, to start off, it's so much stuff. What's going on, Suzanne? What's going on, Rachel? There was a story that popped up on social media because I don't know if you guys follow any of the celebrities on social media that's been doing live streams with us, other celebrities as of lately. Well, there's a rapper named Fat Joe, and he does his live stream with different celebrities almost daily. And one of the celebrities he had on his live stream was Bobby Brown. He's from the R&B group New Edition. And I'm pretty sure you guys know who New Edition is, know who Bobby Brown is, know that he's Whitney Houston's ex, and he's also a very talented singer and dancer. But as of recent, he had said to Fat Joe in an interview that he was one of the people that... Actually, he didn't say he was one of the people. He said he was the person that taught Michael Jackson the Moonwalker. I've never, ever heard that in my life. But you know what? Before I continue, let's play the video clip. But shout out to the Neighborhood Talk 2 on Instagram for this video clip. I was able to find it on there, so let me just go to it real fast and play it. Let me share my screen real fast, hold on. And you guys can see what I'm talking about, because I'm like, wait a minute. Bobby Brown helped MJ with the moonwalk? We shall see, but let's hear this video clip. Can y'all see what I see? Said I'm gonna talk about that too. I'm surprised at that. make sure that. Okay, let's get this clip rolling. This is from the neighborhood talk. They screen recorded it. I didn't get a chance to screen record it, but here we go.
I believe we have a Joker moment, maybe the biggest Joker moment ever. Are you insinuating that you taught Michael Jackson how to moonwalk?
I'm not insinuating. I'm letting you know that this is what happened. This is how the moonwalk was formed. Michael Jackson.
Fat Joke's reaction though.
Bobby, you taught Michael how to moonwalk?
He perfected it, but I taught him how to do it.
Oh,
and we can bring Ralph Tresvant, BBD, all on because they was all there at the time when I was showing Michael how to do this. They were all there. We were in the foyer of his.
I believe we have a Joker moment, maybe the biggest Joker moment ever.
Hold on.
Are you insinuating?
Pause. Now, did y'all hear that? He said, I know the truth, I asked the source. The crazy part about it is I've never heard this a day in my life because I've researched who taught him the moonwalk, and also the moonwalk was around before MJ. But from what I know, according to my research, is that MJ had learned from Jeffrey Daniels, from the Boogaloo Crew, which is one of the main people from the Boogaloo Crew that you actually hear from. And then you also hear from Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers, who also had gave Michael insight on how to do the moonwalk. Those were the only two historical counts that I know of. But as far as Bobby Brown, I'm not too sure. As much as I'm a big Bobby Brown fan as well because I grew up listening to him just as much as MJ. I don't know if, I believe the story, but I'm not discrediting him or anything like that. But it just seemed odd that this particular story came out of left field because, out of all the time that Bobby Brown has spent in the industry, he's never once brought that up publicly. And if he did, I just never heard of it. I've never heard him bring it up publicly. So it's like, where did this come from? But yeah, but he's taking claim on teaching MJ the moonwalk. And I'm like, wait a minute, when New Edition came out, that was in the early 80s, and y'all were kids. I wasn't born yet when New Edition was out. But however, New Edition was in their early teens, maybe. They were kids. And who MJ learned it from was Jeffrey Daniel, who was a grown man, and Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers, who was also a grown man. I mean, I didn't know that he learned the dance from kids as well, but yes, this is Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston's ex. Yeah, this is him. This is him, and he's pretty much saying that he taught MJ the moonwalk. I mean, if he had any hand in teaching him, kudos to him, but I can't honestly say that I believe it at all. Not discrediting him because this is the first time I'm ever hearing it, but this is like a little shocker for me because I've only known of two historical accounts, which I already mentioned. But I'm like, okay. He taught him the moonwalk. All right. So, what do you guys think about that? I mean, about this particular story? Because if now a third person is involved in teaching him the moonwalk, everybody's going to take credit for something regarding MJ. I mean, we know already who the other two are, but I mean, as far as knowing Bobby Brown taught him, I don't know. Said, oh my God, I'm late. I had to put my lawnmower in the shop. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Janesta? But I'm just like totally shocked off of that because I've never ever heard that story, but that's totally brand new to me. There was also something else that, hold on, put some comments up on the screen. Said, wasn't the moonwalk like a pop and lock move? Because I don't remember Bobby Brown popping or locking. I don't remember that either. I remember them doing dancing, but I don't remember New Edition ever really doing any popping and locking. So to me, I don't know. I don't know. And I mean, the moonwalk wasn't originally through popping, locking, and breakdancing. The moonwalk was actually a regular dance move that a lot of performers way before the breakdancers and way before MJ had done. I mean, this was done by James Brown, Mr. Bojangles, and then Fred Astaire also had a version that he actually did, but they didn't call it the moonwalk then, as I had told y'all in the Legend video. They had actually called it the backslide. So the backslide was a totally different move, but of course in the modern age, at that time of the early 80s, they gave it a different name and a different venue to actually push it, and it got pushed through the streets, so it became very, 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 very popular. There's a video on the guy who taught him. Yeah, there's a documentary of it on Amazon Prime from Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers. And then there's also interviews with Jeffrey Daniels also on YouTube as well. So that's what I was wondering. Why didn't he actually mention this when MJ was here? Because he knew MJ as well. They were kind of cool, but I can't say that they were friends. But of course, MJ was really, really close to his wife. You know that MJ and Whitney Houston were really, really good friends. So they did know each other. But I mean, as far as them knowing each other in the early 80s during MJ's rise to superstardom, and this is around the time that New Edition was literally trying to make their way up into the world of music, I can't honestly gather the thoughts of, you know, anyone but those two actually teaching him this particular dance. But yeah, like, that's a little weird though. But I mean, if he did have anything to do with it, kudos to another music legend, Bobby Brown. I'll give him credit if there was any per se proof that he actually did teach him. But anyways, there was also something else that had come out recently. And I can't say recently, because this isn't really recent, but this story Terry had told me about, Terry TJ. Thank you for this one. Even though it's a couple of years old, I've never known this particular story, but let me put it up on the screen. Hold on. The moonwalk has existed for a long time, since the 20s. Yes, it's existed for a long, long time. It's been around a very, very long time, and there's no way to credit who started the dance move, because originally they called it the backslide, as I was saying, but there's no start to who actually did it. We just know who the original innovators were, but as for the first person to actually do the move, no clue. I would love to find out exactly who started this particular move. It had to be a street dancer or something of that nature. I don't know. I'm just taking a wild guess. Said sorry, 40er. Bobby is tripping. Don't believe that. Oh man, Bobby could be tripping. I don't know, but I mean, even Fat Joe's reaction when Bobby had said he was the one, he had, oh wait, you did that, you did that, you did that, and I'm like, Fat Joe's reaction might have been a little sarcastic. I don't know, but that was my reaction on the inside when I heard that too, because I'm like, okay, you taught. Oh, well, I'm not going to deny it, though. Bobby Brown was able to really dance his ass off. I'm not going to act like he is not a talented dancer. But as for him teaching choreography to MJ, I'm not so sure about. What's going on, Agazio? But yeah, let me show this next story. And shout out to Terry TJ for this story, because I wasn't totally aware of this one, but let me put this one up on the screen and we can go through it together. I'm like, this one is an interesting one. Now, of course, you guys know who Judith Hill is. She was Michael's backup singer, and she also was his duet singer on the I Just Can't Stop Loving You song on the This Is It movie project. And, of course, coming from the world of MJ, this is where, majority of us know her from, because before that, I had no clue who Judith Hill was, but I know she was around. as a musician. But however, Terry TJ had brought up the article to me, and this is a few years old. This came out in 2017, but I had no clue that Judith Hill and yes, Prince, the purple one, the artist formerly known as Prince. He and Judith Hill dated just before he passed, and I was like, "Burr." I was under the impression, and I said this to Terry also, I thought he was married. I literally really thought that Prince was married up until his death. I didn't know that he and his wife had gotten divorced because I really didn't follow Prince like that. I mean, I'm a Prince fan, but I'm a die-hard MJ fan, so I would look into more MJ stuff. But when it came to knowing that Prince and his wife actually split and he and Judith Hill started dating, I had no clue. This is new to me, but this is an article from People magazine, online, of course. And it says, Prince's last girlfriend, all about Judith Hill, their secret relationship and her tragic history. Ooh, the way they put it, though. Now, Judith Hill was a star in her own right, scheduled to tour with Michael Jackson before his death and appearing on Season 4 of The Voice. This comes from April 17th, 2017. Okay. Now, search warrants from the investigation into Prince's death were released on Monday, revealing that the music icon had a romantic relationship with singer-songwriter Judith Glory Hill from 2014 until he died last April. Well, not last April, but after accidentally overdosing on the painkiller fentanyl. According to the search warrants, a 32-year-old performer revealed that she would communicate with Prince by phone and email using a Gmail address with the name Peter Bravestrong, a pseudonym he often used to conceal his identity while traveling. Wow, that's something I didn't know, though. Prince was also one to use pseudonyms and made-up names just so he can travel around and apparently have privacy when it came to his travels. I had no clue about that, but wow. I didn't know that she worked with Prince. This is brand new news to me, and this is years old. That's why I'm sitting here like, wow, I have to share this one because I'm not sure if everybody heard this story or heard that she and Prince were actually dealing with each other in that way. But I mean, was she dealing with Prince before she worked with MJ, or was she dealing with Prince after, or working with him as of after? Because I've never ever heard of these two ever linking, connecting, or anything like that. So this is all new to me. What's going on, everybody who's just joining? Because I see that there's 19 of you here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this Saturday. Sorry for the delay again. But yeah, let me continue back to the article. Where did I leave off? Okay, Hill was a star in her own right, scheduled to go on tour with Michael Jackson shortly before his death, and appearing on Season 4 of The Voice. She won a Grammy in 2015 for Best Musical Film for her work in the documentary film 20 Feet from Stardom. I've never heard of that, but I'll look it up. Get to know more about the singer below. Alright. And here's a photo of her and him together. He's hiding his face, though. He's, like, kind of hiding his face a bit in this photo. So I'm not sure. Did he want it to be known that they were together? Or was it supposed to be, like, some top secret thing and he made her, swear that she would never say anything? I'm just wondering, how did this go? Because, Prince was a player himself, so it wouldn't surprise me, if he was dating her, because she's a very beautiful girl. I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous. And, of course, Prince, he couldn't resist. But it was after his death? Gotcha. But, wait, what is that? Remember when they thought they overdosed? Wait. Because that is so small. I can't... The comment section on StreamYard, I love it. But it's so small. Remember when they thought he overdosed on that plane and the plane landed because of it? Well, she was on the plane with him when that happened. Oh, wow. See, that's something new to me as well. See, I learned just as much from you guys as you learned from me. Because there's plenty of things out there that I wasn't even aware of. Like this particular story, I wouldn't have known about if Terry TJ hasn't actually told me about it. But this is brand new information for me, and I had no clue that these two actually knew each other, worked together, or even dated for that matter. And, it's pretty cool when two dope musicians can actually get together. But Prince was a legend, y'all, and I had no clue that he actually divorced his wife. But it says, in an article published by the New York Times in June, Hill recalled the moment the music legend lost consciousness on a flight from Atlanta. Wait, that's the part right there. Am I able to zoom in? Because it's very small. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all like, what are you doing? I gotta zoom in a bit. Like, either my eyes are bad or... God. X this out real fast. Okay, now, in an article published by the New York Times in June, Hill recalled the moment the music legend lost consciousness while on a flight from Atlanta to his Paisley Park estate outside Minneapolis. The two were eating dinner and chatting about his performance that night when his eyes fixed and he nodded off. Knowing something was wrong when she couldn't wake him up, the plane made an emergency landing in Moline? Or is it Moline? I'll say Moline. Moline, Illinois. We knew it was only a matter of time. We had to get down, Hill said. We didn't have anything on the plane to help him. 6 days later, Prince died of an accidental overdose of opiate painkillers. Now he's gone, and I realized I was leaning on him a lot, she said. And that's what's scary. I'm on my own. So was this... I wonder how long they were actually together. Well, we know about her singing on This Is It already, so I don't need to read that. We know about that. More about her and Prince. Okay, now, she met Prince after naming him as her dream collaborator. Hill was doing an interview around the time of The Voice airing and 20 Feet from Stardom's debut. According to the New York Times, they left the word out. When she was asked who she wanted to work with, she replied, Prince. Oh, wow. So she always wanted to work with him, obviously. Okay, well, the musical icon happened to see the interview and invited her to visit Paisley Park, where they soon began working on music together. See, I had no clue about that. Is there anything else about her, or are they just talking about the... Okay, so they're not talking much about her and Prince's relationship. They're talking just about her. Alright. Well, let me scroll back to the top of that. Put the title back up. But yeah, this is something that I didn't even know about, so I figured I would just share it with you guys. What does that say? Just Mr. P. I'm an Italian boy. That's what's up. Shout out to you. It's like, looks like Trapson. I saw that movie. Very good. Oh, man. Now, also, there was something with me recently. Stepping outside of the whole chatting about Bobby Brown or Judith Hill. Recently, now, I'm going to put myself in the hot seat. Now, let me grab my phone. Where's my phone? I'm sitting in the dark, so I have to look for... Where the heck did I put it? Either should have had it next to me on my... Or... Where did I put my cell phone? I'm like literally sitting on my bed in the dark, keeping cool. It's very sunny, but anyways, I remember off the top of my head what was asked of me because I cannot find that phone to save my life. Horrible. Anyways, continuing on. Now, recently, I did a interview from, well, not recently. This was back in March. I was on the Better Yourself podcast, but the episode was just released as of yesterday. Yes, the Better Yourself podcast, if you guys haven't heard about it, I had talked about it before. It's a Von Price podcast. He was also a guest on our podcast a couple of months back, if you remember. He was here. He spoke to us about his visit to the O2 Arena and him being there on March 5th, 2009, the day of the This Is It announcement. And now it was my turn to be asked questions. So I don't know if you guys got to hear any of the interview, but I'm going to play a video clip from it. Well, not a video clip, but an audio clip from it, so that way you guys could kind of hear what's going on. And I will post the link in the description box so you guys could get to it, because it's a must-hear. I mean, I want you guys to hear this this particular interview. But hold on, let me put it up. Let me put this up. Share your screen, buddy. Share your screen. All right, now it should be on the screen. Drag this here. All right, now hopefully you can hear clearly.
Hurt me a lot. And I mean, there's no real way to describe it besides just feeling real hurt behind it, because, you know, this is somebody that I looked up to my entire life, even tried to emulate, tried to be like, and, you know, to lose him, it really hurt so much.
Yeah, man, crazy. So, in that point, you found out Michael Jackson's dead, and you were sad like all of us. And what actually make you believe? What start making you question yourself? Like, you know what? I think there's something wrong about his death. So, in what point you actually start having this kind of thought?
Well, one of the first things that honestly gave me those thoughts was the fact that, of course, on June 25th, the LA lead coroner, Craig Harvey, had given a press conference. And during that press conference, you know, this is the same day that everything went down and everything happened. And during that press conference, he had announced to the crowd that was out there watching that it was going to be a 4 to 6 week deference on, you know, the autopsy for Michael Jackson. Now, 4 to 6 weeks, and that was the very first thing that actually stood out to me, was 4 to 6 weeks was to go by before they actually got the body back to the family to actually have a funeral. So how were they planning a funeral on July 7th, 2009? If he was to have that body for 4 to 6 weeks, then the funeral was, not the funeral, but the memorial was 1 week and a half away after he made that.
Hold on, let me see something, because I see said it was low. Hold on.
So, I think for you, it was more like you want.
Hold on. That's my fault for that one. I forgot to turn up the volume.
Hurt me a lot. And
is that
I
better?
mean, there's no real way to describe it besides just feeling real hurt behind it, because, you know, this is somebody that I looked up to my entire life, even tried to emulate, tried to be like, and, you know, to lose him, it really hurt so much.
Yeah, man, crazy. So, in that point, you found out Michael Jackson's dead, and you were sad like all of us. And what actually make
Can you hear now?
Believe? What start making you question yourself? Like, you know what? I think there's something wrong about his death. So, in what point you actually start having this kind of thought?
Well, one of the first things that honestly gave me those thoughts was the fact that, of course, on June 25th, the LA lead coroner, Craig Harvey, had given a press conference. And during that press conference, you know, this is the same day that everything went down and everything happened. And during that press conference, he had announced to the crowd that was out there watching that it was going to be a 4 to 6 week deference on, you know, the autopsy for Michael Jackson. Now, 4 to 6 weeks, and that was the very first thing that actually stood out to me, was 4 to 6 weeks was to go by before they actually got the body back to the family to actually have a funeral. So how were they planning a funeral on July 7th, 2009? If he was to have that body for 4 to 6 weeks, then the funeral was, not the funeral, but the memorial was 1 week and a half away after he made that announcement.
Yeah. So I think for you, it was more like, you want to say like the date, it was too much gap? That's what you're trying to say? Or you were
like
short?
What I'm saying is it just doesn't add up. It just didn't add up, because if he's saying that they would have been doing all of these studies for 4 to 6 weeks and the memorial was a week and a half away, how was there any potential possibility that there was anybody there within the memorial setting?
Oh yeah, I get it. Because I think so in that point, that's when you start thinking like, okay, maybe there's something, you know, maybe. And when you watch the memorial, what was your reaction like when you see the whole thing? At that point, was you 100% sure like MJ was still alive?
See, I had the thoughts in my head. Don't get me wrong, I had the thoughts in my head, but of course, it's not something you speak out loud about, especially when you first think something like that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, watching the memorial, you don't see anything wrong to begin with, or you just feel is immense sadness because why? To the naked eye, I mean, you see that it's
Well, that's a sneak peek clip that I have from the podcast. So if you guys do want to hear the full podcast, I'm going to post the link to it in the description box. But I did receive some comments to my DM, my inbox, and also some complaints too. I mean, I would expect that. And, you know, I'm here to talk about it a little bit, but I'll talk about it a lot more once we have Fon Christ back on the podcast as well, so he can answer some of the questions that I was asked regarding him. Because also, that was like me presenting to him because he doesn't actually follow the death hoax. I mean, in the community, he would be called as a non-believer or whatever the case is, but he doesn't follow the death hoax. He's just a MJ fan. So this is me explaining to him why I feel that the death hoax is happening, and also why I believe that he's still here and why he's still alive. And I think it went pretty good. But during the podcast, I said a couple of things that ruffled a couple of feathers, because one of the things that I did say, what's going on, Henry Louise? I see you. But one of the things that ruffled a couple of feathers was me saying that there's a difference between a knower and a believer, and I don't say that I'm a believer anymore. I say that I'm a knower, because I know for sure that he is still here. I'm not going to say I believe it, because I mean, do you believe that you're going to pay your rent, or do you know that you're going to pay your rent? Do you believe that you're going to eat, or do you know that you're going to eat? Because there's a major difference. That's why I had said what I said. It wasn't to, you know, appear disrespectful or anything like that, because one of the messages I received was, oh, if you're saying that you're not a believer and you're saying that you know, then you're disassociating yourself and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, it's nothing of that nature. I said there's a difference between knowing and believing. So do you know that you want to have a good life, or do you believe you're going to have a good life? Because there's a major difference in that also. Henry Louise says, I also ruffled some feathers recently. Wow. I was like, wow. I didn't think that it would be taken as that, because a lot of us who are in the community, even though it's called the Believes community, a lot of us don't say believe anymore. A lot of us say that we know. We know. Because there are more than just me as a researcher. There's like bunches of us out there. I'm just one of the ones that was around for a good while. But I didn't think there was anything wrong with that particular statement. I was just stating from me personally that I feel differently, that I feel like saying believe versus saying no is a major difference. And that's all that particular thing was. And I just want to say that because I know she's probably watching. So yeah, it was nothing serious. It was just me saying that after doing this 11 years now, I would say that I know versus just believing. I know belief was a major part in the beginning because there were clues, and I don't even like that word. I'm not going to use that. There were ideas, and there were pieces of evidence, I would say, that the word belief pointed to at the very beginning. So, of course, that's always going to be an association, but personally saying that you know something, different. Way different. Thank you, Henry Louise. But I watched your interview recently. It was definitely good. I give you credit for that, so I look forward to your next video. There's a big difference. Thank you. There's a major difference, Suzanne. And that's all I was saying in the interview. So there was nothing, no shade or anything. And I don't even know why she took it that way. You're my friend. Damn it. Like, it's nothing that serious. It's nothing that serious. So, yeah, exactly. Thank you, knower. Or that's another word, indications, evidence. Oh, man. Thank you for that. I'm a knower. I did enough research to say I am as well. Exactly. Because I know Rachel has been around a long time, because I've always seen your name before I even got on social media, on YouTube, commenting under my videos, so I know that you were around a long time as well. And there are a lot of us who were around a very long time. I appreciate your support. I definitely appreciate the support that I get from all you guys. So, you guys who support me, I definitely support you guys just as much, because in the long run, we are all just MJ fans, and we all are just trying to share what we have to say content-wise, share our love for MJ, and share our love for just speaking with our fellow Moonwalker family. I mean, I love speaking with you guys, so it's definitely cool that you guys always tune into us every weekend and, you know, chill out with us and chat with us and laugh and joke with us and, you know, have a good time. And we exchange information from here to fro. Wait, what does that say? I've known since early 2010 when I went to that MJ Gold forum. Like, I've been going since the very beginning, but I just didn't put anything on YouTube until 2010. That's the only difference, because I started out at the beginning of the hoax, as I told you guys, that I started out with my own website, and I started out with a blog as well, but I had that on Tumblr. I didn't keep up with that. I ended up deleting that. And then the website, the domain that I was paying for on Yola's site was too expensive. So, of course, after a couple of years, the website ended up with a big Yola stamp on it. And it was sitting around for maybe 6 or 7 years without me ever posting or telling anybody about the website any further, until I eventually deleted that too. I appreciate that, though. But yeah, I agree. Hugs, everybody. Hugs, everybody. Nothing but hugs. You can't see me hugging, but I'm hugging. Exactly. There's a major difference, and that's all I was trying to point out. And I was also asked, being that I was talking to him as a believer or a knower, and he's a non-believer, as he would be referred to in this side of the MJ community, was I able to convince him? Now, see, he never said for sure whether he believed or not in the interview, but we will get to that question once he's back on the podcast. I definitely spoke to him yesterday and told him, I was like, we have to have you back, because I have received some, reviews about the interview. Everybody said it was pretty good that actually viewed it, and I'm actually happy because I've never been interviewed by anyone else. So this was a new experience for me to actually appear on anybody else's show and be interviewed and have my facts like that. And the crazy part is, I didn't even study. For something like this, 11 years, it generally gets stuck in your head, and it's like, it's there. And it's kind of like hard to like shake. So when certain questions are asked, immediately dates, times, locations, and it happens that way. And it happened that way. It was crazy. Some things are irrefutable. I agree. Has anyone talked to Michael or seen him since? That was another thing. Thank you. When I was asked, do I think that MJ is on social media talking with anybody, I said I don't believe so. That was another thing that ruffled feathers, because I said that's from my personal standpoint, because I said I haven't researched that, so I can't say for sure that he's on the internet speaking to anybody, because I never researched it. However, if he is, that's between him and them. Me personally, if I didn't research something, I'm not going to go, oh. And you guys know how I am, because I talk to you guys all the time, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't know because I didn't research that. Oh, well, I didn't know, or I don't know because I didn't research that. So anything I don't research, I'm not going to say it's something. But however, if it is being done, I know my buddy is not here again today. You have to see my big old bean head solo for another week. She should be here next week. She should be here. Let me open up the screen. I don't need to show that anymore. But yeah, she should be back next week. She should have her situation with the technical issues that she's experiencing in her area set come next week, and we should have Miss Dove Angel back. So I'm sending her a lot of love. I definitely miss chatting with my buddy because we're not able to chat all the time like we used to. And of course, right now I feel a little left in the dust. I'm like, oh, I want to talk to my friend, but I can't. Hopefully, she'll be back before next week, so that way maybe we can do a quick podcast in the middle of the week. It doesn't even matter. We can actually step outside the normal schedule Saturday, and we could actually do a podcast whenever just to welcome her back. It definitely would be. I mean, it's been pretty quiet just having me. I'm not going to deny it. It's been very quiet just having me and me only. Said Peter Medani, that's all I want to say. Wink, really? Oh man, what's going on, Kristen? But yeah, much love to Dove. We definitely miss you over here. Definitely at the Moonwalkers Chat podcast. It wouldn't be a Moonwalkers Chat podcast without Dove Angel. So it's definitely been hard these last 2 weeks, especially planning shows, because when we generally are planning, we generally will plan together. And we toss ideas back and forth about what we're going to chat about and what the idea or topic is going to be. And now it's just been me. So it's... But based on my research, I think he... Wait, what is that, Rachel? Based on my research, I think he... Ia? It would definitely be good to have her back. Sure. For sure. I know. I'm sitting in the dark today because you want to know what it is? It's very it's very hot. And if I have my fan or the AC going, what ends up happening is y'all can't hear me. So I kind of suffer just a little bit just for my art, as they say. So it's not as quiet as it should be when I have that on. So it'll drown my audio out and you'll be like, what is going on? We can't hear you. So I want to make sure that you guys can hear me at all times, because I know maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago we had an echo issue. And it was my fault particularly because I'm supposed to be using earphones while doing this, but I wasn't. And what ends up happening is the computer is bouncing the sound out and it's bouncing into the microphone. So the microphone is like doubling the sound out and making it echo, and it kind of sounds horrible. So, yeah. That's a good question. Where is Poetic today? Yeah, that she's missing too. Like, what's going on? Say, hey guys, I made a cover pic in my Twitter for MJ Fam. You are welcome to use it. Oh, nice. Wait, was that the one with all of the quotes on it that I had seen earlier on today? I think he was online years back, but you wouldn't know for sure. You would just think you were talking to a believer. Others have thought the same thing. Because I noticed, like, over time, with the whole thing with being told that MJ was popping up online, it ended up always being found out that there was some fan behind the account, and they would be busted and found out. Like, one particular time, and I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, that it was found out that there was, like, maybe a 16-year-old running an account pretending to be MJ, and that was a major disaster. That was a Twitter thing. That's why I don't go on social media like that. Like, I go on social media just to answer messages, but I be having so many of them. It's crazy. But I just go on there to answer the messages. If you notice, you don't see me post as much because I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I don't want one of them, especially on Twitter. Twitter is crazy. Twitter gets really, really crazy. I don't know what it is about the Twitter sphere. It gets really, really loopy and nutty. That's the one? Alright then, I definitely will use that. That was dope. I love your artwork. You designed the artwork for our podcast, so definitely anything that you make, you know, I'll definitely support. You bring us all together in the name of MJ. Yes. You know what I mean? I've been doing it for 11 years, trying to bring the fans together. But some fans don't want to come together. They want to just focus on the hoax only. It's more about it's just more than a hoax. It's more about the MJ family and us finding out together what happened. It's not just about the hoax alone. It has to be more than just the hoax alone. Because in the long run, MJ considered us family, so why aren't we family to each other? This is why whoever messages me from my YouTube or from wherever, I generally will answer, because it's like we are all MJ fans no matter what we are, YouTuber or social media sensation, because a lot of us are big on social media. A lot of you, I see some of you with thousands of followers, so I'm like, okay, y'all are even bigger than me on social media. But yeah, so I'm like, no matter what our status is in this community, we are all MJ fans and family, and we definitely have to keep it that way. Oh, you deleted your account? Wait, you deleted your account off of Twitter? Oh man. Now see what I did on Twitter, and now I'm just gonna randomly chat. But what I did on Twitter was remove all my tweets, because after Twitter had flagged my account for all of my MJ stuff, oh man, no matter what MJ dance compilation that I put up, they flagged. I had so many flags going down my account to the point I didn't know what to remove. So I just downloaded one of those apps and deleted everything off of both accounts. So I said, are you kidding me? Even though only one account got flagged on Twitter, because I have two. But it pissed me off. I had to fight Twitter for almost 5 months to get my main account back. That's the only reason why I have two accounts now, because my main account got freaking banned and pushed to the side and put on hold by Twitter. And I'm sitting there emailing them back and forth, because of all the flags going up and down. That's right. We are family. Wait. It was a channel in 2010. They left long ago. The person was definitely a believer. See, that's what I was saying. That's what ends up happening, is a lot of times where they do pop up online, they be toying with people, and I don't think that's funny. That's not even funny, because in the very beginning, that's what used to happen. And people used to do it, not even because they were believers or knowers. What they were doing was doing it for clout and doing it to pretty much make fun of the people who actually followed this and took it serious. And I didn't think that was funny. So that's why every time when I've seen somebody... Janesta, you get me every time. But every time when I've seen like one of my viewers or one of my friends or somebody toyed with by one of these impersonators online, it pisses me off, because I'm like, that is not right at all. They don't realize how much time people invest into actually learning what really happened for you to lead them astray and then play with their time and play with their emotions, because a lot of people invest their time and emotion into this, and it's not like this is a game. So for the ones that take it as a game, it's not funny. She said, so sexy, Mr. B. Thank you, Janesta. Said white supremacists post what they want. I've seen that. I've seen it on Twitter all the time. There's so many disrespectful things going on Twitter constantly, and they don't remove anything. There's a whole side of Twitter for violence. There's a whole side of Twitter for racism, or should I say racism, because I know how YouTube is. And then there's a whole side of Twitter for pornography. I'm not going to say that word in full, but it's crazy. The amount of things that have popped up on Twitter that they don't remove versus what they remove is ridiculous. You can see somebody getting beat up on Twitter and they won't remove it. They won't remove it. So I'm like, I don't get where social media is really headed. I don't know what the owners of any of these networks are doing, but it does not make any remote sense at all. It's crazy. See, a lot of the ones, though, that... And see, I have a lot of things in my inbox, Rachel, where I've received messages from fellow knowers and believers who will tell me that they're talking to such and such on Facebook or Twitter or something, and then months later it ends up being found out that they were being gamed, because they'll end up sending me screenshots of that person being exposed. And I'm like, this whole game in this community gotta stop. Like, see, that's what I was talking about, Henry Louise. There's a lot of posers in the community, And that's not even cool. Because then there's people that I know that have told me that they've donated money to some of these posers. And I said, why would MJ actually need you to send him anything? MJ wouldn't need you to send him anything. And I feel bad because in the long run they got scammed. All of a sudden, either if that person didn't get exposed, that poser would end up blocking them after they got what they wanted out of that person. And I think that is so foul on so many levels. Yeah, because I get a lot of messages, and I hate when I see people that I care about and people that I know. Because I chat with you guys all the time. And for those of you who do message me, you know that I'll tell you, like, don't let these people toy with you, because this is a game for a lot of them. A lot of them do it for views and clout, and it's not cool. You said they never claimed to be him, though? A lot of the ones that I've dealt with, not me personally, but the ones that I was told about and sent screenshots about, were pretending and saying that they were, or doing things like requesting donations from the people that they have supporting them. I mean, I know how it is, because if you're a social media sensation, by all means, if you need to do that, I have nothing against it. But if you're pretending to be Michael Jackson on social media while seeking out help from people, that's just utterly wrong, because they're banking on you being who you say you are, but you're not. And it's messed up. Terry says, I mind my own business. That's why I was like, I chill out now. I don't really post like that. Like, if you see that I post, I'll post a photo of myself or something from an upcoming video, or maybe a random Facebook video of like the weird video I just watched a few days ago of a monkey that was trained to like snatch a child. It was weird. Like, on social media, I really don't post as much as I used to, though. I need to. Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube is enough for me. Oh yeah, I know. Well, I'm putting those up on the screen because she needs to see that she's definitely missed. For real, for real. But it's crazy, though. I don't want anybody to keep being toyed with and deceived, because I think it's wrong on so many levels. Wait, some are very clear and stop short of saying they're MJ. I said clear. Oh my goodness. Clever. And that's the crazy part about it is, I mean, I don't know how some of them pull it off, because a lot of them that have done it never actually reveal themselves to any of the people that they've said they were MJ to. They've never sent a photo of themselves. They never appeared on a live for them. They have sent voice messages, because I have voice messages from several MJ posers. Like, here, listen to this. This person is pretending to be MJ and blah, 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 blah. It's crazy. I know. Where is she? No, but again, though, she's having technical difficulties for the last 2 weeks. There's something going on in her area regarding the internet. So as far as her getting back, we hope to have her back come next week. There was one stating he was... Wait, put that up on the screen. My Facebook is mostly funny I've been trying to slowly dwindle away from, you know, any crazy posts or any weird posts. I just want to post regular, normal stuff. And I mean, if I have a video coming, you know, I'll share about the video or share about the interview or whatever. But I definitely try to make sure I keep it clean and, you know, nothing more than that. Wait, said there was one saying he was MJ. They definitely saying they are and trying to sound all right in MJ style. Very smart people, but evil. I mean, it's wrong. It's wrong. I agree with that. Facebook only. Yes, Dodo. Stop off Jamie and G as if... I don't want to call him any names. Because he follows me too. I don't even know if he's someone in the dark waiting. So I did, after that time frame, I kept doing my own research. It was all good. I mean, that's what I've always suggested, though, because I mean, no matter who you get information from, researcher-wise, whether it's me, whether it's Souza, whether it's Pearl, no matter who it is, always do your own research on top of that too, because there are plenty of things out there that maybe may have missed that you guys catch wind of that may be pertinent information to finding out what exactly happened on June 25th, 2009. So, I mean, how didn't you get a notification? What's going on, Souza? I don't know what be going on. YouTube acts weird. Weird. I don't know what it is. It's very annoying. Oh, man. But who's bad? Wait, who's bad? The real MJ? Oh, man. Said the person is obviously foreign that I'm referring to. Gotcha. I've never been on any social media, and Daryl's channel is the very first comment on YouTube. I was defending MJ. I remember you commenting a lot on my Let the Truth Be Told series when I first put those out. But what's going on? Everybody that's joining. But yeah, that definitely is a good topic. But as far as the whole Bobby Brown thing, I thought that was a funny story. I thought it was a funny story. Oh, man. But I thought that was a funny story, though, the whole Bobby Brown thing with Bobby Brown saying that he taught MJ the moonwalk. And you were, to MJ at the time, you were a baby. You were a kid at that time in the early 80s when he did learn it. So I don't know how much you could have taught him dance-wise when his dancing was damn near perfect. You guys were just learning at that time how to really dance and how to perfect your dance style yourselves as performers. So I'm still trying to figure out how did he teach him. I want to see some more proof about that one. We're going to set something up in the next couple of weeks where it seems that Death Mystery is making MJ live forever like he... I know, right? So we definitely are keeping him here. I appreciate that, Sandy. Thank you. But we definitely are going to set that up. We definitely need to do that. I mean, it would be dope to have two of the OGs of the hoax community actually sit and chat about the hoax. So I definitely want to do that. That's what I was saying. I was like, Jeffrey Daniel taught him, and he also learned some of it from Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers as well. I'm still wondering, where did... I mean, I don't know. Is Bobby Brown still doing that? Because he says he cleaned his act up. So I'm wondering, because they said he cleaned his act up. He started going back to church. He got remarried and all of that stuff. So I'm wondering, like, what exactly is going on. So everyone have a nice day and evening. Keep Michaelin. You out of here, Dodo? Catch you later. Wait, so making it easy. Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Love it. But yeah, I just want to figure that one out. And then even the Judith Hill and Prince story, I had no clue about that. And that was 2017. But that shows how much I follow anything outside of MJ. Because I mean, I do listen to and love a lot of other artists, but as far as following them career-wise, I wouldn't have, or dating-wise, I wouldn't have known that Judith Hill and Prince had become a thing. But thank you for that today, TJ. I definitely appreciate that. That was definitely an interesting read and some new information, especially for me, because I had no clue. Wait, wrong one. Said BS. But take care, Dodo. Souza, are you a believer or a knower? That was the topic of conversation earlier. So yeah, type your comments, Souza. We want to know. Are you a believer or a knower? I definitely want to hear your response to that one. I just came across that story too, wasn't researching. Sometimes coming across these articles will be accidental. So I could understand. I mean, sometimes when I'm just going through Instagram. That's how I came across the Bobby Brown story. I was like, wait a minute, what? I heard it. See, I'd never heard about that Henry Louise. That was new to me. I'm like, this is interesting. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I was trying to explain. I was like, there's a difference between believer and knower. Because, I mean, after doing adamant amounts of research, especially a lot of you out there that's been around for a long time within the hoax community, there's a difference that you would know he's still here versus thinking or believing. Because like I said earlier, and this is going to be my wrap up, but if you are a believer, I'm all for it. But you can't believe that you're going to pay your rent. You know that you're going to pay your rent, like I said earlier. Or you can't believe that you're going to eat. You know that you're going to eat. Because there's a difference. I wanted that to be known. So I made sure I said, I'm a knower. Because doing that interview, coming into a show where, you know, the audience is not from this side of the MJ community where we followed the death hoax. And them not being a part of that part of the community, I had to make sure that it was known that I'm a knower and not a believer, because saying believe to, you know, an audience who's never ever followed something, they're going to be like, okay, so you believe this, but you don't know it. So I made sure to say that I'm a knower and I'm not a believer. We know he didn't die in 2009. How do we know he is alive today? You do have a point. Knower. See, I wouldn't have known this either because I don't follow Beyonce. I can't tell you anything about Beyonce. But we know he didn't die in 2009. How do we know he's alive today? Based upon things that have popped up as of December 2019, which I had posted earlier on, which has been removed, which is horrible. I will be re-uploading that, by the way. But based upon December 19th, 2019, there was still signs going on that he was still around. From that Paris, France video during Christmas. Of course, some of us know they have to research, then they could say the same. Exactly. We know because he is still under attack. Exactly. That's another good way to put it, Souza. Mr. P, did you have or see the snippet with Janet in the boat with MJ's voice in the background? That was also another video that I shared on my channel. I had did a video about it, and that video made it to some website over in the UK. I can't remember which one it was. I happened to just Google the video, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my version of the video, because I had put the title text, so that way, as the words are being said, they'll pop up on the screen, and I'm like, wait, they used my video. But I was hyped, because I said, I didn't even know that anyone followed my YouTube channel on any news media websites in the UK, so that's interesting. Right, that's the answer I was looking for. Oh, gotcha. The stories are Prince are in his videos. MJ did a duo with Stevie that I did not know until I heard it on Spotify. What song is that? See, that's something else. See, that's what I'm talking about. Informing me about stuff, because there's certain things that I don't know. Like, which song is that, Kristen? He can even listen to you today. It is possible. Yes, you did, and it was clearly MJ. I was shocked, though, and I was laughing, though, because when I had posted the video, there was someone that made a response video making fun of it. That was so hilarious. I was dying laughing. I said, are you kidding me? I said, this is so exciting. That means that obviously must have struck a nerve for that particular person, because they made sure that they made a video about it but didn't say my name, but they were referring to the video that I put out. That was so funny. I don't get mad at none of that. I honestly end up laughing at it because I said, this is funny. I was like, oh my God, a response video. I couldn't get mad at him because I didn't know him. I'm like, I don't know you, so... See, I gotta look that up, because I've never heard it. Stevie and MJ. And we're referring to Stevie Wonder, I presume. I'm just making sure before I go look up Stevie J or something. No, I'm joking. We the MJ fans always research so crazy, feel like FBI. I know, a lot of you guys are like FBI damn agents. You guys be pulling out the facts from left, right, up, down, from everywhere. You guys do not play. That's what I'm like. When it comes to facts in the MJ community, you guys be pulling them out. It's publicity any way you look at it. That's true. You're right about that one. Souza, I think they know he is still alive too, and that is why they're still attacking him. It's true. That's the only reason why he's being still attacked. It's called Get It. I still haven't even found my phone yet. Here it is. I'm going to type that in my notepad real quick so I don't forget it. Save that. But yeah, this has definitely been a good podcast today, you guys. And I appreciate you guys, as always, joining. I wish my co-host was here with me. It would have been nice to have Dove Angel back on the show, but she won't be back for a couple of weeks. So I'm definitely working harder to keep the podcast together alone. But you know what? The show must go on, and I'm doing this for my homie Dove Angel and the Moonwalker fans. Oh man, the Moonwalker fans of MJ. They are keeping him from coming back. So wait, Get It is from 1987. Is that from was that on Bad 25 or? Cause I know 1987 around that time. She's having technical difficulties right now. I can't say right now. I mean, it started last week, and she's not able to get connected because of internet outage out in her area. So it literally has her on the up and up where she can't actually join us. When are you doing your next live? Oh hell yeah, I miss my sidekick. I always miss her, especially if I don't get to do the show with her. It's always awesome. It's been fun doing this over the last year and a half with her. Definitely. Well, let me know when you're doing your next live, Susan. I love you guys, too. I'm going to get ready to go, too, because I'm hungry. I need some food, and I need some water. This is the first podcast that I actually didn't keep reaching for water. My water is over here on the nightstand. Even though I'm thirsty, I haven't reached for it yet. I need to, to drink some water. He needs some milk. All right, well, send me a message and let me know. I'll join you guys. I'll definitely come and join you guys. But yeah, definitely, thank you guys for tuning into this podcast today. I am going to go hop off and get some lunch. As always, I love you guys, and thank you for always rocking it out with me on my channel and definitely being a part of this podcast, because the podcast would not be possible without you guys always tuning in and watching. So definitely, I love you guys, and I will be seeing you guys next week. So, much love, everybody. And I will be seeing you. I'm going to message you online, Souza. I'm going to be seeing you guys come next week. Peace out, guys.
Yo, it's the KIDHYPHEN, the Kid Heights.
Hey MJ fan, this is For Christ.
Hey, this is MJ Love.
and you are listening to the Moonwalker Chat Podcast.
The only place to be if you're a real Michael Jackson fan.
And you tuned in with the Moonwalkers Chat podcast.
And this is a place to be if you're a real Michael Jackson fan.